So I am here with Lauren, who was a referral from our previous video with Rich. And Lauren is thankfully agreed to sit down with us and kind of go through the same process that Rich did before. So we'll open it up from here. Two really, really easy questions. So first off, Lauren, who are you?
I'm Lauren Glick. Do you want a little brief synopsis of me?
Sure, whatever you want to share.
Long story short, retired firefighter. And now I am, I guess it's not long story short. I'm a retired firefighter. And then I got into personal training. Okay. And got really kind of sick with a lot of health issues. And after that, I really became passionate about body movement and happiness.
Okay, I'm question number 2. Only other question, I promise, except for follow-ups.
Yeah.
Is what do you want to teach us today?
What I want to teach you today. That's just a big open-ended question, right? And I always have like a very broad spectrum of, not really, like I have a broad spectrum of stuff I could teach, but I to gauge it off of body movement, because you had a question about that, is that I feel as though we could have a lot more happiness gauged around movement, because people don't really think of movement as something that's a very special gift. And in the 90s, with even though Jane Fonda and Richard Simmons are 2 huge people in my life, because those are like the fitness gurus, right, from the 80s. And I have so much gratitude for them. And there's like a lot of people, and I'm not going to tell you all of them, but I feel like I'm a trifecta of 4 people. And that's kind of like who I embody. Okay. And they are though they are huge aspects and founders of movement, like the fitness era, I feel like taking it back a little bit and really helping people understand that moving is such a special gift that we have in life. And to be able to move and go out on walks and be with nature and just enjoying movement, rather than being like, oh, I have to go to the gym because I have to go, get my hour of fitness. But it's like a year, 100 years ago, not even 100 years ago, like 50 years ago, we were not sitting as much as we do now. And people have a lot of tight hip flexors. And as I worked with as a personal trainer, bodies are getting very tight and stiff, and it's just a lack of movement. And on my Facebook, I have the Happiness Fitness Movement. No, see, I said it wrong. The Happiness Movement Project, because it's like fitness is it's even ingrained in my head, right?
Right.
The Happiness Movement Project is because we are humans and we get to move. And to reframe our mindset around fitness and change it back into movement is a very strong teachable moment that I learned when I got diagnosed this last summer with rheumatoid arthritis and ulcerative colitis. So I was pretty laid out flat there for 3-4 months of just kind of waking up. And there were weeks where I just didn't, you're so stiff and your joints are so swollen that I didn't know what to do. Until I found a really good doctor nearby. I'm thankfully in LA, and they have really good doctors here. And once I found the good doctors, they put me on a lot of medication that helped my immune system conquer itself, unfortunately. But stress can do a crazy amount of damage to our body. And when we don't have the happiness with the movement, then it doesn't work. So I just feel like waking up and enjoy, right? And we get to have that mindset of waking up with happiness. That's a hard teachable moment, right? Like, especially if you don't follow like Abraham Hicks or Tony Robbins or Dean Graziosi, right? If you don't have those people in your life that are, Jim Rohn's like, a lot of these mindset training coaches, if you don't have that in your life, you just kind of feel like your thoughts are your thoughts, right? And what I guess the point is, the point here is, oh shoot, I lost it. Shoot. Oh no, I found it again.
Okay.
Is that your mind is just like your muscles in your body. So that we get to move and you get to go to the gym and we get to go move our muscles and gain a lot of strength. It's the same with your mind. So that was, I guess, a couple different points all in one, but I'm just very thankful, blessed that I can move. And now I have the mindset of knowing that this is, I get to wake up and be happy because that's what I choose for myself. Like your mind is something that we get to train as well, just like our body. We train our muscles. That's what we literally do to our body, is we train our muscles. And people think that, well, people that have like a negative mindset, they're like, can't change my thoughts. And it's like, but can you? So
Right.
there was a lot of kind of points that I found right there. So hopefully I wasn't a little too all over the place, but
No, it was good.
yeah.
So it's interesting then. So when you talk about movement as part of happiness, then you're not just talking about the physical side of it. You're talking about the mental side of it as well. So I'm a huge reader. I'm constantly reading something. I'm reading The Power of Bad right now.
Oh, who's that by?
That is John Tierney and Roy F. Baumeister. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing at least one of those names. But
oh, it's okay.
it talks all about the negativity effect and like positivity ratios and everything else. And so the aim of the book, and I've not made it, but maybe an eighth of the way through so far. But judging off the synopsis, the aim of the book is to help you identify where you're sort of focusing on the negative, and then turn that almost automatic mindset that we have that focuses so much on the bad and make it work for you. So
100%.
So yeah,
because as Tony Robbins says, where your focus goes, your energy flows.
Okay. Yeah.
Because what you're focusing in on is the energy source, and we get or did they say that backwards, Amelia? I don't think so.
I must admit, I don't think I've ever actually seen or read anything from Tony Robbins. So.
Oh, he's awesome. I really want to go get my journal that I highlighted it yesterday because, I watch his stuff pretty predominantly, so I have his statements in my head, and this one I really should know, especially since I was listening to The Ultimate Edge yesterday. And it is here. Yeah, it's where your focus goes as energy flows. So it's just like what you're focusing in on is where your energy is going to go. So even though even just saying like negative energy, right? Just saying that statement, you're still thinking about that negative energy. So like literally dropping those thoughts of negativity and just being like, okay, I don't want to be negative. So what affirmation could I put in there instead of negative energy, right? It's just even that word. It's just so interesting because I'm, a personal trainer as well. And it's all mindset. It's gnarly. Like, to understand that weight loss is, of course, it's like the hardest part about losing weight is actually putting on your shoes and going to the gym and actually getting there. That's all mindset. So when, I retired from my city fire job, it was a couple of years of transformation for me to get back into my body and understand movement again. And it's been a really good year of just moving and being grateful for moving. And so the happiness movement project is about the happiness, but also it's like I want to say a double entendre, but I haven't thought of it like that. Amelia, thanks for bringing that up. It's like, it is about like being happy and moving, but also having the mindset of knowing that moving is a positive affirmation.
Okay. And so when you're exploring that, what sort of, I guess, both physical and mental movement are you kind of looking at and exploring?
I really 100% vouch for walking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just the simple aspect of just walking a couple times per day. Getting out in the morning, walking at lunch, and walking in the evening. It's so powerful because we're, as the humans, are supposed to move a lot, and we just haven't.
Yeah.
The past
Yeah.
50 years, things have changed a lot. I
Trying to
love
get
it.
my steps every
The
day.
steps
So
in. That's a huge
yeah.
part of movement for me. And I also really love yoga. So
Okay.
I'm really into moving meditation. So that's another, goodness, movement is I grew with Bikram movement where it morphed from Bikram to Hatha. I really value the source of hot yoga and where it came from. So I really do believe in meditation and moving with the breath. That's a very powerful word as well. So
Okay.
there's so many things that I value, and that's like, and it's all based around happiness and movement and really throwing that out into the world, especially right now where it's very challenging for people.
Yes.
It's and I understand that, right? I just don't want to focus in on it, because once I start focusing in on my anxiety, right, that's where my energy is going to go. So if I focus in on, I get to be home with my dogs, and I was in Scottsdale, Arizona, I got to come home and be with my family and be with my dogs during this time. It's like trying to take that one thing. What is that one thing that gets your mind going in the right direction, in that positive direction? And if I'm having a hard time, usually it's movement. No, 100%. It's always movement that helps me.
Yeah.
So, getting that positive word back out there, that it's just walking, it's just hiking, it's just breathing and moving and putting in your AirPods and a really happy song. I do, right now during these times, I do a 12:45 arm session. If you're on Instagram, 12:45 Pacific Standard Time.
Mm-hmm.
I do 5 minutes, 2 songs, and it's an like light arm weight workouts, but it's all like Madonna and Lady Gaga. So really upbeat, really fun music. And it literally changes your energy source, like your state of self, right? So if you're in a negative self, like you literally can't be upset and dancing to Lady Gaga. It's just like impossible. So, and then after that, you feel that energy. And it's so powerful and such a simple concept.
It's really interesting. I can remember I was in a sales and management training, and I had a moment where I had to go in and do a role play thing, which is pretty common in retail sales, especially. Like I've got to go in, I've got to be the cheerleader for the group meeting for the day, so I have to have high energy and big smile and everything else. And somebody, I want to say it was Rich, recommended to me, right before you go in there, skip down the hall.
I love it.
And it works because I defy anyone to skip angry.
I love it. That's so my movement right there. I love that one. Good job, Richard.
Right?
And it's just all state, your self of state and where you are, right? Like what is it that makes you happy? What is it that makes you like anxious? What is it that makes you angry? And the cool part is that you have 100%, like, unless like, yes, I have been through like the imbalances chemically from fire, right? But once you start gaining that control back, right? Like you have sense of self and you're able, like this is the only thing that you're able to control. And once you understand that you're able to control your state of mind, because you can't control everything out there, especially like COVID, like we can't control that, but you can control what's in here. And I feel like movement and putting yourself in that state of the happiness, like skipping down the hall, is very powerful.
Yeah.
And it's such a simple concept. And that's where weight loss comes. And that's where, like, my primary clients are weight loss because they get stuck mentally. They're like, oh, I just can't lose this 10 pounds. And I'm like, well, what have you focusing on. They're like, oh, I just can't lose this 10 pounds. I was like, what do you want the outcome to do? Like, let's look at your outcome. Like, what will you get from this? And what's your reason why? And when people start focusing on their reasons whys and their, like, what state they're going to be at when they lose the 10 pounds, that's where the power comes from, is focusing in on those positives. And once you focus in on those positives, your mindset changes and it's like magic. I mean, half the time I feel like I'm more of like being a personal trainer, I'm definitely more of a mindset than I am of body movement. I mechanically know what bodies do and how they're supposed to move and how to trigger that movement to make it what it's supposed to be. But I'm no help if I can't get somebody into the gym, you know, which I don't work in the gym anyways, but like on my Zoom call now, you know, or like out walking or enjoying the sun. And I just, you know, hope. And that's my whole statement, is just get people out moving again and just getting back to being in a happy state.
So you're doing personal training over Zoom right now then?
Uh-huh.
Oh, awesome.
Well, I do. It's really fun. It's small, right? Because it's like, I'm on Instagram. So I joined in December. Facebook, it was kind of floundering. It kind of was there, but I just jumped back on when everything happened. And it's been pretty fun. And, you know, the best coaches out there have their coaches as well. And I finally found my second really good coach. I had my coach on Instagram and just to help grow my business. Because when I retired, I was like, okay, what makes me happy? And movement made me happy. And I didn't know, like, then I went to personal training. So I was one-on-one personal training in person. And I got busy really fast. And I was like, okay, I really love working with people. And I never thought I would help people more than I did as a firefighter, as personal trainer. Like, that's weird. So now I do online group personal training. So if you're more than welcome to come. I have a link on my Instagram bio. You could always black out your screen, because some of my friends come and they're like, I don't want you to see me working out. I'm like, okay, black out your screen, you know? So if you're interested, like, there's a link on my Instagram bio. I should have one on my Facebook. I haven't figured that out.
And so for people that are interested in doing that with you, do you want to share your Instagram info?
Yeah, it's at the Lauren Glick. And it's just in my heading bio. And then my email. Do you take emails, or is that something that you do on podcast?
I mean, if you want whoever my viewers are to be able to reach out to you, then fire away.
Yeah, my email is lauren@laurenglick.fitness. So it's the cool .fitness, not .com. It's lauren@laurenglick.fitness. I also am on Facebook at Lauren Glick, and I'm just here to spread the joy and you know, in movement, and knowing that, you know, these are really hard times, but even without COVID, right? Even without these scary times, it's like, I was doing this before it hit, is the weird part, you know? And then I was like, oh my God, people really need this right now.
Right.
So, I'm just thankful that I'm in a space where I could help people that are in need of a little bit more joy in their life. So.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Lauren, this has been great. Thank you so much.
It has been, Amelia. Thank you so much for having me.